Attention passionate Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news all right. Folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could shake up the entire NFC West and really change the landscape of the NFL as we know it. Rumors are swirling that the Baltimore Ravens, sitting comfortably at 9-3 and with a cap space of around $8 million, might be making a bold move. Insiders are suggesting that Baltimore, a team known for its stout defense and innovative offense, is considering trading none other than their all-pro running back Derrick Henry to the Seattle Seahawks. Yeah, I know, it sounds wild, but this is the kind of move that could define a franchise's future. And if it happens, it could be a game-changer for Seattle, especially as they look to solidify their position as a serious contender. Now, let's break down the details. Derrick Henry, at 31 years old, remains one of the most dominant running backs in the league. Over his career, he's amassed around 500 rushing yards, with some of the most punishing runs the NFL has seen in recent years. His 92.1 PFF run grade for 2025 is among the top 3 in the league, and he's still showing elite burst and power. In 2025, despite some minor injuries, mainly a foot injury that caused him to miss a game, Henry has been incredible. In just 12 games, he's carried the ball 197 times for 931 yards, averaging an impressive 4.7 yards per carry, and has scored 10 rushing touchdowns. He's also contributed as a receiver with 14 catches for 142 yards, averaging over 10 yards per reception. His explosiveness is still there. 8 yards per reception and a 15.2% rate of explosive runs. What's remarkable about Henry is his durability and consistency. He's missed very little time this year, with just that 1 foot injury, and his yards per attempt remain elite at 6.1. PFF's WAR rating for him is 3.8, comparing him favorably to Jim Brown from the 1960s, an all-time great. His power grade is at 94%, and he's known for his ability to dominate in the red zone, scoring 8 touchdowns in playoff situations and being a true goal line. So why would the Ravens, a team that's been leaning on their defense and the legs of Lamar Jackson, consider trading such a key player? Well, there are some underlying issues. Baltimore's pass rush has been weaker this season, with a total of just 18 sacks, down from previous years, and their backfield YPC yards per carry has dipped to 3.8 without Henry. They're also taking some risks with Jackson's rating, trying to keep him healthy and productive, but perhaps at the expense of their ground game. Their run defense has also been a bit inconsistent, and the team's overall offensive balance could use some bolstering. Enter Seattle. The Seahawks, currently sitting at 8-3 and with a solid plus 1,200 odds to make a deep playoff run, have been ramping up their ground game after the addition of Helani. They're now averaging over 150 rushing yards per game since Helani's integration, and they're becoming more versatile on offense. With Geno Smith leading the charge, the Seahawks have been more efficient, and their play-action game has become even more dangerous. Adding a back like Derrick Henry would elevate that run game to another level. Imagine the Seahawks' offense with Henry's power, his ability to carry defenders, and his knack for breaking off explosive runs. This would open up the passing game even more, giving Darnold more play-action opportunities and extending drives. The Seahawks' rushing attack is already top 5 in the league, and their red zone efficiency has been at 60%, which is solid but could improve. Henry's presence near the goal line, especially given his 8 touchdowns in the playoffs, would make Seattle even more formidable in clutch situations. His ability to execute play-action deep shots, boosted by his threat as a runner, could turn the Seahawks into one of the most dangerous offenses in the league. Plus, at 31, Henry is still in his prime for the next couple of seasons, and his elite yards per attempt of 6.1 this year shows he's still got plenty left in the tank. Looking at the bigger picture, if this trade goes through, it could shift the balance of power in the NFC West. The 49ers have been impressive, but the Seahawks' offense would become even more explosive with Henry in the backfield. The Rams are still trying to find consistency, but a move like this could propel Seattle into the top tier of NFC teams. For Baltimore, however, it's a short-term risk, trading away one of their best players to potentially build for the future or to retool their roster for a Super Bowl push. Whether they're doing this to free up cap space or to get draft picks to rebuild their depth, the fact remains that the Seahawks could be the primary beneficiaries of such a blockbuster deal. Now, let's talk about the draft picks involved. Rumors indicate that Baltimore is asking for a first-round pick in 2026 and a third-rounder in 2027 in exchange for Henry. That's a substantial price, but given Henry's proven production and his playoff experience, it might be worth it for a team like Seattle that's in the window for a deep playoff run. The Seahawks have some draft capital to work with, and adding Henry would make their offense nearly unstoppable in the NFC. But it's not just about the offense. Defensive and secondary improvements are also on the radar for Seattle. After a strong start to the season, the Seahawks are looking to tighten their secondary and shore up some gaps that have been exploited in recent games. Adding a player like Henry could take some pressure off their defense by controlling the clock and keeping their opponent's offense off the field. It's a classic formula: ball control, physical running, and a balanced attack that wears down opponents late in the game. Of course, all of this hinges on whether the trade actually happens. The NFL is a league of whispers and negotiations, but if there's even a chance that Derrick Henry becomes a Seahawk, fans should be prepared for a seismic shift. It would send a message that Seattle is all in, ready to contend not just for the NFC West crown, but for a serious Super Bowl push. It would also send shockwaves through the league, forcing other teams to rethink their strategies and roster moves. Looking ahead, the Seahawks are already in a strong position. Their offense has been efficient, their defense is improving, and with a star like Henry, they could elevate their game to new heights. The NFC is wide open, and with the right moves, Seattle could be the team nobody wants to face come January. Whether this trade materializes or not, the mere possibility is enough to get Seahawks fans excited. It's the kind of move that could be remembered for years to come. Imagine the roar at Lumen Field if Henry dons the Seahawks jersey and starts tearing through defenses like we all know he can. That's the kind of excitement that makes football special. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster? Do you think Derrick Henry would be the perfect addition to this squad? How would you feel about giving up some draft capital for a player of his caliber? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinions matter so much to us and to the Seahawks, and I love seeing your passionate takes. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates on this story and everything else happening around the league, so make sure to stay tuned. The Seahawks are on the rise, and whatever happens next, you can bet that we're here to keep you in the loop. Let's keep that fan energy alive and continue riding this wave together. Go Hawks!